This video is going to look at the student cohort district comparison section of the student financials menu. We're going to be looking at these three screens and talking about them. So let's start with the comparatives with cohort districts. And looking at this, when you bring it up, what it is doing is comparing student processing statistics in your district with the average of those in others. And the other districts that you're comparing to here are those that you've selected as districts to compare to in the parameter area polls. Now I'm going to go there just briefly to show you that screen. I'm going to look at comparative cohort selections. And here, any district that you've given a number to, regardless of the number, is being included in the average that is being showed here. So this is the average of those districts. It can be 10, 15, 20, 30, even 40 some districts in this average, depending on what you have selected for your district. So it's taking your number, ADA at the moment of 96, and comparing that to the average of those districts, which is at 94. Comparing your adjusted enrollment to the averages of theirs, and so on down the line, the number of kids enrolled in each area. At this moment, the Title I is not working in this district. That's just K-12 pulse issue, and they're correcting it right at the moment. One other thing that is comparing that probably needs a little explanation is the transcript average grade. And what this is trying to analyze on a 12-point scale, with 12 being an A plus and a 0 being an F, is the average grade in the transcript that your teachers are awarding students. It has nothing to do with the students' achievement abilities. It has everything to do with how critical your teachers are in assigning grades. Some districts of teachers are much more harsh with the grade assignments, and others are much more lenient. And this is letting you see that. If you're way off, in this case, this district is average score is 7.33, which is a little bit below the average for all districts. But close enough that it's essentially the same. So there's really no issue here. But if this district was at a 5 or at a 9 or even at 8.5, then you might pause and sit back and say, well, what is our grade policies in terms of assisting teachers in assigning grades? But at any rate, that's what this is for. It gives you some deep insight into what's going on in your district, and maybe would cause you to take pause and look into it. On the right side over here is the 10 areas from this display that you vary the most. And discipline count is interesting. This one is one you might take pause and think about. This district is 91% fewer discipline events than the average of the others. So therefore, they may want to look at their policies. It's probably a combination of policies and students, but whatever it is, we would take some research to look into. Beyond that, nothing here would surprise me. The 99 program is the one that's most. They have 3% fewer for reduced kids, and so on down the line. But this is here to let you see the ones that are the most, and it's just simply selecting them from this list. Let's go back to the student financials and look at the second screen on this list, which is comparison of cohort districts. And this screen takes a little different track. If you went back to the comparative, you notice that you've given some districts a 1 through 10. That's controlling the order that the districts are here and which districts are on the screen. In other words, you can select up to 10 districts to compare yourself to name on name, you versus them, etc. So when you come to this screen, you're going to see that your absenteeism is 5%. How does that compare to the districts you think are most like you? What is your ADA? What is your transcript grade? We talked about that earlier. In looking at this, you can see how you compare to those, and again, give yourself a little more insight into your district and understand your district better, which should lead to better decisions. Let's go back to the student financial section and just briefly talk about the deep statistics evaluation. This screen contains the same information or a portion of the information that's on the attendance ADA root analysis up here, which has a separate link to discuss that screen alone. I would suggest you look to this particular link to see information about this particular screen. And with that, we've completed this section. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you know the number. Thank you.